hot in here.
Sandra, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you this
Yes.
morning?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Good,
How about you?
good. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. All right,
Great.
so he's good. Right. Why did that happen?
That picture.
Thank you.
Yep.
Don't need my computer. Okay.
My little granddaughter.
You said it's,
Oh, it's not that it's not.
oh, yes, yeah, we definitely, but I'll send your email addresses in a little bit.
I'll check like this.
Yeah, because I'm gonna keep it like that and I can read from over
Yeah.
here. So it's up to you guys. You, if anything, you might have to turn your volume down.
Exactly.
Do static. My camera, I think of this computer. That camera's so weird.
Oh, it's cracking.
I don't know what it's doing. I ain't never seen it do that before.
Yeah, it's cracking. It's tracking you.
I don't know how that happened. But you see how, I don't know, it's doing what it wanna do.
Okay, this is
Okay,
about.
we got 12 more minutes. So Sean, I guess there was some talk about we might have an office meeting at the new location. You guys just don't have a date yet.
No, not yet.
So, you know,
We're hoping to
everybody's
get the lease
excited
back.
about that.
Oh, me too, actually. Hope we get the lease back, to this week. I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's what Tiana said that, you know, you guys are hoping to get that back
Yeah.
this week.
Hmm.
So that would be nice. Everybody could see.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be really nice. A really, really huge location. You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah. Nice big training room too. Tell me about the size of this without that space right there.
I think it's bigger than this.
Bigger?
Mhm.
This isn't 6,000 square feet here.
No, talking about the training room.
Oh, the training room.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
By itself. Yeah, this is probably what, a little.
This one here is about 15, 1600, yeah. We said,
The Terry ain't playing with Ghana.
Terry?
Yeah, look at her,
Oh, Terry. Oh,
Hey.
man. Wow.
like,
I didn't even see that.
and the colors. Yeah. We got one. Ain't nobody on yet. It's just me and Sandra. Okay. Don't know how that Zoom, how my computer's doing that.
The camera.
Well, that one, but it's not hooked up to that. That is tracking us too, but I don't know if that has to do with the screen. No, because it's not connected to the,
Still have the video.
it's only connected to the TV.
We're gonna video you did and you want to. I think you should post it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so quiet.
Mm-hmm. Tomorrow may never come. Nobody knows what tomorrow may bring. So let's make the day the best it's ever been. Right here, right now. Do all the things you wanna do. What are you waiting for? Beauty words. Beauty words. Right here, right now. Why put it off? Why put it off till tomorrow? Don't take life for granted. It can easily be taken. So let's appreciate every breath we take. Cause we don't know what tomorrow may bring. I just sent you an email, please.
Okay.
Right here, right now. Just the things you want to do. Oh, where you live your life is up to you. You're here right now. You're here right now. You're here right now.
I downloaded.
Yes, Yes. That's the things you want to do. The way you live your life is up to you. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Love girl, baby. You're here right now.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah.
Right.
Morning. Hi.
Morning. Let me see. You got it.
It's working on it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're here right now. The 15 questions. Oh. Oh. Mhm.
So go through that and answer it. But upload this as a clause.
No. This is actually a finalized version. Yeah, this is the finalized version. Huh? That's just left there a minute. The first plan didn't have, yeah, so remember I ran it back through. So yeah, so you could also answer those questions or load them back into your file. Hey, I got this game plan. I want to start working on it, but these are 15 questions I need to answer, right? And then give it, yeah, do it that way. Yeah. That's hard.
Forever.
It is. You got it. Oh.
You wanna talk to me about it later?
No, let me see. So, well, you can go ahead and do all that stuff right there. Get all that set up.
Yeah. To promote my business, is that what I should do?
Yeah, you put that, yeah. It don't matter. It doesn't use it. Yeah, you just click on those. Well, we'll get to that. Okay, you can create the account. I would just do it with Google, I mean, with the Apple. Uh-huh. Hey, dog, how you doing today, brother? Good?
Yeah,
Yeah, me too, man.
yeah.
Good, bro.
Guys, this morning with push ups, ready to go.
Yeah, okay, all right. Lisa, I had the shame of yesterday trying to get a sweet tea. I had to shame the man.
It worked.
Yeah, he got water. He told me, yeah, let me get a sweet tea. And I was like, what? Yeah, I'm like a sweet tea. We don't drink sweet tea, dog. We don't drink that no more, bro. No. No, I had no more cookies. No, I had a little piece of cookie the other day, no, that was a whole week ago now. Man, if she saw me to have a cookie, don't even try. I did. I just said you ain't want it. I didn't mean I wanted it. Go that line on me, Lisa. Oh, see, I thought maybe you were cool. All right, so if you have any videos on here,
Yes.
let's let me show you. Real simple. What?
Yes.
All you do is hit the plus button. Like that right there. Okay.
You're gonna give it access to your photos. Okay, and then let's see, and then we just go through, find a video.
Well, they wouldn't be in my pictures, they'd be in the video.
It's okay, everything's in there, but you hit this little drop down. And then only show you videos.
Okay. So,
So just pick any one again real quick. You can pick multiple, you can pick 10, 20, 100. You can pick that one there, okay? All right, so now you want to just add it to the project. Okay, and you determine if you shot it this way, then you use TikTok.
hello, everyone that,
Then you're gonna scroll over and use YouTube. Okay,
okay.
okay.
Kevin, Monica, Tiffany, hello. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
So now.
Good morning.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, good morning, good
And good
morning.
morning.
I can
So we're waiting for a few more people to hop on,
click on.
and then we'll start the training. It's,
This.
2 after, so I appreciate you guys hopping on in time. Like about 5 minutes after, we'll start the training.
Right here.
So add that.
Well, no, this is copywritten, so you wanted to put that over there, yeah. Yes, you have to come in and kind of listen to some of the music songs you may like, right?
I would want something upbeat like that.
Yep, so you can find your music, right? And then you can add.
Hello, Tasha,
Text on the video
Sarah.
right here.
welcome.
Captions. Okay, you can do like another
So if
overlay.
you wanted, so you could name it, you could say, well, you
Mhm.
never wanted me, yeah, I would not want to say where it's out it. I
Right.
want them to call me.
Well, you want them to call you.
So I can.
Yeah.
For that.
No, I still want to know, because they want to probably do some research first, so here's mine, right? And this is my video, do that. Okay, so I'm gonna hit projects, and it takes me to everything I've got, right? Yeah, when you come out here. Then you have a project, but we'll take you back to your videos. Okay, so this one, for example. This is Empire Homes, but I'll put Empire Strikes Back in. Okay, and let me see.
Where at Empire Homes at?
This was in Charlotte, so go 28205, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna start the training in like 1 minute.
And they got me, I can't do them in this. Yeah.
I wonder what they're.
I'm
looking for, like.
Oh, man, Apple took my.
Yes, and we can fact that's always on.
Yeah.
Usually I depend on.
Apple took my messaging, man, somebody put me on spam. Yeah,
Mm.
one of you little,
You can't get it back.
it's in my third strike. Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
So like I can even, if I wanted to, I can come over here now, the audio. And even voiceover. Watch this.
Okay. I'm gonna start the training.
Oh.
Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for attending. We're gonna start the training. Let's start it with wins. Does anyone have a win that they want to share? Anyone in the room?
Yeah, I'll share one. I'll
Okay.
share one.
Okay.
I've got a listing getting ready to go live here pretty soon. We got photos done yesterday, so that's a victory for me. And I had a great consultation yesterday with some folks moving out of Seattle to Charlotte. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
congratulations. Okay, anyone in Zoom, our family on Zoom? Anyone want to share their win?
This is
I got
Monica.
one. Oh, go
Oh,
ahead,
I'm
Monica.
sorry. Go ahead. Okay. The house that I had the listing presentation for, we went live. We went live Sunday, 6239 Skyline Drive, right across from the golf course out in one of the golf courses out in Highland Creek. We are live at 579.9. This is the one I told you all about, over 3,000 square feet with a very nice basement apartment.
Okay.
So we are live up on showing time. Y'all go see it. give me your feedback, take your clients. I was doing some reverse prospecting last night, and a couple of you in here, Sally, Yachty, y'all do have clients that came up that this home would work for. So if you don't mind taking a look, taking
No,
your
that's right.
client. Um, Also, I put in the chat this morning, I have two referrals. I'm not sure if we have an agent out near Asheville, Cherokee area, North Carolina. I have a listing referral and I also have a buyer referral. Two separate people. Um, One of them is a coworker, one of them I met at the casino, and she called me early this morning and was like, "Look, my agent took my house off the market 6 weeks before the contract ended. I need another agent." So if
Wow.
anyone is willing to take those on, let me know, and I'm gonna send them out for referrals. If I don't hear anything, then if we don't have anyone, I'll check with some other people I know, but I wanted to check with the firm first.
Well, thank you.
you.
Congratulations.
I got a question for Monica. Congratulations, Monica. You should continue to
Thank you.
shine. Yeah, absolutely. Quick question for those that don't know. What is reverse prospect?
It is well, it comes for me. It's when I've been using Canopy. When I list in Canopy, there's a tab on there at the bottom of the screen on your listing that says reverse prospecting. And it gives you a whole list of what it gives you is the agent's name that may have a client that liked your property, that it was sent to their client, your listing was sent to their client, and you are able to reach out to those agents and they it has a code. It has a code for their client so they'll know who it is because it doesn't give you their client names. It gives you the agent's information. And you're able to reach out to them to say, hey, you have a client that this home will work for. Maybe we can work a deal or whatever. You can send out emails. I learned on my last listing that you can export it to a what do you call it? A spreadsheet and just send out a blast email so you don't have to do every one. We went live on Sunday, and last night I had like 173 agents that have clients that this house will work for. Oh yeah, it also gives
Well,
you the phone number too. So you don't have to do an email, you can phone or text.
awesome. Thank you, Monica.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Monica. Okay, they have canopy dues up there, so I'm pretty sure if you haven't paid your dues, you need to pay your dues and get back to the firm. Because everybody that didn't pay is not, affiliated with the firm. So one-on-one, I'm gonna let Mr. Sean talk about
No,
one-on-one.
you just had a one-on-one yesterday. You can talk about it. Yeah, so you can tell them. You can tell
Look,
them.
if you guys haven't did the survey and got on the calendar for Sean, it's something that you should do because it gets you to start to rethinking about your business. I'm pretty sure you ladies have had a one-on-one with Sean. Wouldn't you say the same thing, or would you have anything to add to it?
Definitely great.
Right?
I highly recommend.
And
Well,
Debbie?
what about the accountability piece? Like, am I easy? Like, am I?
No, he's
Well,
gonna
I
be
needed to
hard.
hire like 3 people to get mine done, but
That's fine. Okay. Yep.
I'm plugging away.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Any comments for you, Debbie?
I liked being more accountable for my daily planning, you know. I was doing it before, but not as extensive with Sean in the background. I'm like, okay, I've got to do this because I want to make money, obviously. And if I'm not accountable to myself, I'm accountable to him.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things I can say, and you can add to it, it kind of brings you back to a structure
Yes.
based on what you said your goal is. And it helps you to have a direction on getting those things accomplished. Anyone on Zoom that has had a one-on-one that may want to comment on their one-on-one and how it's been helping them with their business?
Hey
Y'all need
guys,
to
can you
sign
hear me?
up.
This is Cortavia.
Hey, Quantavia.
Hey guys, I'm having technical difficulties. I'm trying to switch the screen around and see. Okay, you guys, here we go. So I had a one-on-one, and I'm going to be real honest. I did my one-on-one for Sean to say, Quatavia, you suck, quit because you are a secret agent and I hate you and burst into flames, right? Um, because when you're not doing what you're supposed to do, when you're not doing what you're supposed to do and you're looking for your out versus being held accountable to the greatness that's inside of you that you may not be seeing at the time, you want somebody to say, go ahead, leave, because again, you're not good. My one-on-one was amazing because we have a great firm. I love that we're God-centered. I love that we're family oriented. But what happened for me was me being reminded. Now, when I did my one-on-one, all hell broke loose. I went in, I found out I was almost like disassociated. My canopy was off, like everything was wrong. And in that moment, um, God came during my meeting to tell Sean to tell me that I'm bigger than my circumstances and that bad things are going to happen. But when you're covered and when you have grace, good things can happen. So I needed to pay my canopy dues and didn't have the money to pay my canopy dues. So I'm like, yep, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to, let me just quit and find something else to do. And in that moment, I called a friend to pray for me. I told this on the prayer call. Not only did this friend pray with me and for me going into the office, because again, I needed to be told to quit because I suck. She was like, nah, you supposed to be there. My cannabis dues got paid. I got 3 clients out of the deal. I ended up having surgery, and so all kind of crazy other stuff happened. But what that one-on-one does is it gives you a blueprint and a plan for your basic, but it reminds you that this is not an accident and you're supported. This place is a place that we have proximity to people who understand what it's like to build a business from nothing. We also have proximity to people who are making it and who want you to make it. Like I love our firm because people are getting it and then they want you to get it. Like Monica saying, hey, look, I got a listing here for somebody if they want it. I got buyers here for somebody if they want it. Sean, I remember when he wasn't a millionaire, right? I remember when he was a coach at Red Ventures. He wants you to succeed. There are other women and other people in the office that's like, just come in the office. If you just come in the office, we're going to share our knowledge. We're going to share the information. We want you to grow. It's almost like you're in this place and the feeding is there, the watering is there, the sunshine is there, the light is there. We have a magnificent company to be a part of. And if you have not gotten your one-on-one, get it, because it gives you your day-to-day. If you're starting and you don't know what to do during the day, that one-on-one is based on you and your own personality. It says, okay, well, you're set up this kind of way, you do this kind of thing. So Quatavia and Charles one-on-one is going to be different. But it's still a one-on-one to make Quatavia successful in this successful company that we're in. If y'all didn't get y'all one, y'all better go ahead. Go do it. It's so much more than just be a good realtor. It is.
Outstanding.
Great job. Hi, Franklin. Did you want to say what? Did you want to share something, Franklin?
Oh no, that was just outstanding. I don't know how much Sean paid her for that, but that was outstanding. No, just kidding.
That
No,
was
that was
outstanding.
good. I've done a one-on-one as well, and I just the sentiments that she was saying is just super important. When I slack off, Sean has been there to, give me the emphasis on what I need to do more. And but yeah, the one-on-ones are excellent. That's all I wanted to say.
Yep. So hopefully everyone will get on the schedule, fill out their survey. If we can't, I don't know if Sandra can put that in the chat, the survey link. If not, we'll get it in there. For you to fill out that survey first and then get on his schedule to have that one-on-one.
I will say one thing now too. Like, I don't think that real estate is rocket science. I don't think it's rocket science at all. Hey, fam out there. You can win if you just do the work, right? That's it. I mean, real estate can be very, very simple, right? It's leads, it's listings, it's leverage. You just got to get up every day, man, and have a plan. You can't do your plan today when you get up. right? You got to have that plan ready like yesterday. So when you get up and your feet hit the floor, you can get up and run, right? So like some of you guys are doing one-on-ones with me, and some of you are putting the work in, and I can see it. Because some of you are getting stuff on the contract already and calling me and telling me, hey, it works. And then others are like still trying to figure out what to do, and they got a plan right there. Like when you do your one-on-one with me, man, I know I'm sending you away with a good detailed plan. You can't call me back and make excuses. Okay. Like, cause I'm not going to listen to them. Okay. I couldn't make excuses. You can't make excuses to your manager at your job, for those that have jobs, right? So you shouldn't make an excuse about your own personal business either. Right. If you're going to go in and go hard for somebody else's company, then shit, you should be going twice as hard for yours when you get off work. Like, something to an agent yesterday evening, and she was like, man, I'm just so tired. When I get off, I got to go home and sit down. Like, yeah, well, you gave all the energy to that person's company, right? But now you're coming home and you're saying you don't have any for yours. No, when you get off work, you should get energized, like re-energized, because now I get to go work on my dream now, right? Instead of working on somebody else's dream that you gave 100% to, right? Just want to share that, man. Listen, love you guys. Let's go. Hey.
Can I say something real quick? This is Monica again.
Yes, go ahead, Monica. Yes.
I wanted to say, like, Sean, I'm coming for my one-on-one. I am. I just got to get it in there.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, like, to the agents that are struggling. I've been at Lifestyle, I think now, I I think I'm going on 2 years, something like that, whatever.
2 years. Yep. 2 years.
Um, the only thing that almost everybody knows that I work another job, or I'm still working W-2. Um, and I have been successful in real estate without even trying hard. The only thing that I have not done, y'all forgive me, I'm gonna tell you, I'm lazy. I am lazy as crap. The only thing that, and I see myself as a lazy agent as well, I could be doing a whole lot more. The only thing that I do that brings me business is not being a silent agent. Just that alone brings me business.
Everybody know.
That that's the only thing. So the people that are struggling, you can do this. You can do it. I'm not saying be lazy like myself, but if you're not getting business, that's the only thing I'm doing. Not being letting everybody I encounter know that I'm an agent, and that brings me business.
Yep. And that just leads to conversation, having conversations,
Exactly.
letting people know what you're doing. Conversations lead to consultations that leads to contracts. You're taking people out. So definitely have more conversations. Just let everybody know what you do.
Thank you,
I can
Monica.
show you
Thank you for
something real
sharing.
quick.
Yep, thank you. Okay, so upcoming events. So put on your calendars, the industry meetup is going to be Thursday, June 18th. It's going to be at 6 o'clock. We don't have a location yet. That's in the works and that will be coming up. What do we have else? Okay.
It is more than likely going to be at the new office.
Okay.
Like an open house, industry night. Just kind of invite all the agents out, man. Bring your family, your friends, invite other people. Let them come see where we are. South Park's right across the street, so it'll be a fun time.
Okay.
So more than likely at the new office.
Yep. So if you haven't heard, we are moving to a new location. All three offices will be combined. We will have one location, and it's right across the street from South Park Mall. So that's going to be really, really good. Okay, so does anybody want to share anything before we start the training?
How about I can share something? Can you hear me?
Yes. Who's that?
All right. My name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi. So I have a win I wanted to share first.
Okay.
I had some clients who came down over to Easter because they're out of town, and we finally got to looking at houses, and that was very good for them because they said they wanted to downsize, but anytime they sent me properties, it was big. So I was like, hold on, I'm a little confused, guys. You said downsize, but these houses are 3,000 square feet. So help me, I'm confused. So we looked at some houses, and I think they kind of figured out, okay, hey, this is what we're looking for real. And so we kind of narrowed it down. Um, so now they're interested in a couple properties. So we're in talks with some agents. I hadn't submitted a contract yet. Also, their home that they're coming from, I've been talking to an agent up there. So me and him trying to get that house sold. So therefore, we can get that house sold. And once that house gets sold, we're going to use that profit to buy the new home down here. So that's what's going on with me. Number two, I was going to speak about the training, the one-on-ones. Like the plan is great. The plan is awesome. I'm not gonna lie. For me, I just have to use my time management has to be better because I do work as well, but like more part time now. But then when I'm not doing that work, it's like I gotta put my attention and efforts into my real estate business because I feel like there is some opportunities I lose because I'm sitting back or I'm waiting. And I'm like, yo, I need to go ahead and attack the opportunity. Go ahead and meet people, get the contact information. Not just hand them my business card, but gather their contact information and get that conversation started about it. Because I got a neighbor they're in my neighborhood. I got two contact information from my neighborhood, and that inspired me to kind of do that a little bit more. 'Cause I said I don't want to miss out on this opportunity in my own neighborhood. I'll feel so bad if I see for sale sign and I wasn't a part of that. And
Well,
that's everything I got right there.
thank you for sharing. Yep, just those conversations.
I want to give a shout out real quick to Kevin. Kevin got his license in November. Kevin, how many closings have you had so far?
So with my own name on it, so far just two closing, but I got a third one in, a referral coming. Out of
Okay.
state referral.
So since November, you've had two closings, a referral, and you got another one about to go into contract possibly.
That's amazing, that is.
Mm-hmm.
And you did this also while you were working a full-time job. Now you're part-time at that job.
That's correct.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Somebody has a question for you.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah,
are
go
these
for it.
people, your leads, are these people that you know? Or how did you get these people?
Half yes, half no.
Mhm.
So when I first started off, of course, I was letting everyone know I'm a real estate agent. Just putting it out there on social media, and I got my first lead like that, and I got a referral like that. The next two came from pretty much me going out and prospecting. I was at an event. One was at my job. I met this person who I work with them, but I don't know them. And me and them had a conversation about just life and what everything is doing around here and how just political stuff. And next thing you know, I told them I did real estate, and they was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't get nothing from my house." And my house probably run down. And next thing you know, we had that conversation, and I'm looking at their house. I'm like, I don't know if you know this, but your house, yeah, you can get some money for it, man. You actually get more than you thinking. And that's what spurred that conversation. And from another one that came from social media, it was a friend of a friend. I guess they seen like my reel or something on my post, and they commented on the reel. That's how I got that other referral.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I wanted to say
Thank you
I
for
got
sharing,
mine.
Kevin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to say I got mine. When I say not being a silent agent, the referral call that I got this morning from Asheville, I met this lady at the blackjack table at the casino in Cherokee. She was the casino dealer, and we were talking. Um, just the closing that I had last week was these clients. They actually have a realtor in their family, but they remembered that I told them that I was a realtor when he couldn't when he couldn't take them out, or he wasn't able to take them on at the time because he works a full-time job. they called me and we closed in 3 weeks. And I got another one under contract right now. I forgot about her. I got another one under contract right now that came from them, which is their niece.
Awesome.
So just letting everybody know. I see this couple at events, family events often, but I knew that they had an agent, but that didn't let me they had an agent in their family, but that didn't stop me from letting them know that I was an agent, and they remembered.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, 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 yep.
I do want to add one more thing. Like, don't be afraid to be of service also. So like, I got a call yesterday from a guy that I grew up with, and he and his wife, I grew up with both of them. They called me yesterday because they are buying a home. So when I took the phone call, I was thinking they were calling to buy a home from me, right? So I got on the phone call with them. They went to tell me that they're going to buy the home that they live in, and they asked some questions for me and just about the process itself. And they wanted to talk to a lender, right? So okay, boom, I'm not going to make any money, but I still talk to them, talk about the process, got them connected with Rob. Oh, they had a good call with Rob yesterday, right? But then I got off the phone with them, right? I get a call 30 minutes later from the husband, and he's like, hey, I just talked to my buddy. They want to buy a house. Like, just like that. And I was like, man, like, God is good. Like, if I had not helped them in that moment, right? Like, if I let my little limiting belief that initially said, oh, right, man, y'all about to buy your own house, you're wasting my time, right? But you know what? Let me serve these people. Okay. You never know what's gonna come from it. And sure enough, 30 minutes later, I got you a buy. Just like that. Boom. Yep. So just don't be afraid to help people, man.
Yeah. Like Zig
Yep.
Ziglar says, the more you help others, the more you'll receive, something like that. But
Yep.
you gotta be a service. We are in a service business. Information is, we have a lot of information. It's valuable to someone, and that can just show appreciation. And then they're like, oh wow, they shared this with me and they didn't have to.
Sure.
Let me see what I can do. And that's reciprocation too.
But
You
be
know?
smart about it.
Mm-hmm. Tell us what you mean by that. Tell us what you mean.
Yes, talk.
So if they knew that you were an agent and they decided to go with another agent and they're calling you because they're not happy in the process, just kind of remind them that you had a choice. I'm gonna respect your choice. And if you like to come and get advice from me, you're gonna have to terminate that relationship so I can advise you, because out of respect of my colleague, I'm not gonna advise you.
Yeah.
And that's to be ethical.
And that's code of ethics.
That's just being ethical. But also at the same time, a lot of people, especially your family members, they'll call and pick your brain, get free information, but then invest in someone else. So just know you give just enough so they feel like you've been a service to them, but you don't give them enough to get across the finish line.
Yes, I agree with that.
And it depends on the situation, because then you gotta ask for the business.
So I have a neighbor, that his father bought him the house while he was going to UNCC. So when he graduated, he moved back to Raleigh and he rented the house out to two people from New York. They stayed for like 4 or 5 years. So now I call him and I said, Chris, what are you doing with your house? And he said, well, I have to redo the kitchen. And I said, he had called me and said, are you Miss Debbie? That was my neighbor, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, so we're getting reassociated, right? So then he says, I'm wondering if you want to buy my house. I said, no, I don't want to buy your house, but I'd be happy to put it on the market. If you remember, I am a realtor. So he goes on to say, well, I have a realtor, but if you want to give me the comps, then I'll give you $400. I said, no, I can't do that because you already have a realtor. So if you're not getting what you need from your realtor, then you need to do what you need to do, and you know what to do because your dad has several houses in Raleigh, and then call me. Right?
Absolutely.
So then I called him back about a month later, nothing's going on with the house. So he said, well, I'm trying to get the kitchen finished. I said, well, when you do, let me know so I can go in and take some pictures, because I may have a buyer for you. So they had the man come over to do the kitchen. He came one day and he never went back. So in that case, should I bother him again and say, what's going on with the house?
So clearly, he has a problem. You need to solve his problem.
Yeah,
Do you know what his problem is?
what?
Do you know?
Yeah, he wants to get everything for free and he doesn't want to pay a realtor.
No, but he has not been able to get his house on the market because of what?
He hasn't finished his kitchen for one thing.
Okay, so, and you said that the contractor showed up once and that was it. So
Yes.
have you had conversations with him to understand why he has not achieved in getting that kitchen
No,
done?
that's what I'm saying.
So you need to ask more
Okay.
questions to find out truly what his issue is. And if it's not finding the right contractor, you can reach out to us. We have contractors that can put a kitchen together in less than a week.
Yeah, my son's a contractor. He could do it as well.
So, but you need to, my thing is when people come to us, they have a problem. We are the solutions, right?
Gotcha.
That's how we add value. So he clearly told you his problem. You have to ask questions to dig to really understand what the true problem is and then solve it for him. And then he will see your value.
Okay.
And I'll jump
see what I'm
in.
saying?
This is Melanie. I'm on Zoom. I'll jump in.
Hey,
And hey, so this is also another opportunity for you to have a different area of expertise. If he doesn't want to hire a realtor because he's quote unquote cheap, obviously he doesn't know what he's doing, or it would have already been on the market and sold. Yes, he was trying to get free information from you, but you can turn that around. Obviously, he can't manage the project of getting the kitchen done. So you can jump in and be a project manager for a fee. You charge him for everything that he's wanting from you. So when he sees that you handled that project correctly, well, you might as well go ahead and put it on the market. I don't have time for this. Thank you.
Okay.
There's the
Yeah.
listing, and you managed the project for a fee.
Right. Gotcha. Thank you.
and also
Sorry,
go
I
a
was
step
trying to be
further.
quiet today. Y'all have a good one.
Oh no, you're fine. I think also go a step further when you dealing with people and they don't want to pay you as an agent, find a buyer. They can still gonna pay you because look, I got the buyer. Pay me my money.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So I mean, sometimes every listing is not for you,
Right.
and it's probably a blessing because it sounds like it's gonna be a headache.
Yeah.
But you just gotta look at it
Right
a
away.
different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. Somebody else was gonna say something?
Good morning, everyone.
Good
This is
morning,
Tiffany Brown.
Tiffany.
This-
Okay.
yes, this is my first time joining a meeting. I'm still fairly new to lifestyle. I started back in January. And I will
Welcome, Tiffany.
share.
Welcome.
Thank you. I will share the wins because I think it's important just to, encourage other people too. Since I've joined Lifestyle, my real estate book of business has gone crazy. When I started, I had no deals pending. And since January, I've got houses under contract. I've got people in my pipeline. I've got a listing under contract and all of this stuff. But I'm also a dual career agent. So there are challenges with my time management, and I have not done a one-on-one with Sean, and I really need to. So I'm gonna sign up today, even though I know he's gonna tear me apart because there are things that need to
We'll
be
put you
done.
back together.
I'm like, you can shake me, but hug me when you're done, and it'll be fine. So
Mhm.
a lot of times I hear, agents saying, where are your clients coming from? For me, it has been referrals, heavy on referrals, and one repeat client for what I have going on. Um, I do try to post social media to let people know I'm an agent because there's some deals and some people that have used other agents and they're like, "Oh, I forgot you were a realtor." I'm like, "Oh, really?" So now, I post and I'm like, "In case you forgot, I'm a realtor. This is what I do."
Yeah.
And I think it's been helpful to stay out there in front of people, even though I hate to post and I don't like to do videos. It is our business. So, I just want to say it's possible to run it both ways, but you've got to get yourself out there in front of the right people and keep talking to people. So that is it for me.
Thank you for sharing, Tiffany.
Congratulations, Tiffany. Thank you.
Tiffany, how long have you been an agent?
7 years.
Oh, wow, 7 years. Okay, very good.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you hear about
Yep.
lifestyle?
Ashley, Sir Ashley.
Oh, Sir
When I was
Ashley.
looking
Okay.
for, yep, Sir Ashley. He actually lives nearby. And
Okay.
so, when I was looking to change firms, I had talked to him before. And so I ended up going to a different firm then, and it did not work out. And I was like, you know what? Let me call him again because this was my, the other option. I'm like that I did not walk into, and I was like, oh my God, I wish I had done this the first time because it's been nothing but a blessing since I've joined Lifestyle. So I'm just excited about meeting people and learning the things. It's just a little bit of a challenge, working full time and trying to balance all that's going on.
Well, you're doing great. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank
I,
you.
I would say this really quickly to like the agents that work full time. So I was a sales manager when I got my license. That's where I know Kevin from. And my first 5 deals actually came from my coworkers. So like if you're going to work every day and you're being a secret agent and not talking to your coworkers, then you got a problem, right? You might want to
Mm-hmm.
rethink whether you want to be a real estate agent. Okay. Like, and I'm not being mean when I say that, but like if you can't talk to the people that you see all day, every day about real estate, like listen, they're going to call somebody else because you didn't tell them that you're an agent. Right. To Tiffany's point, right? You cannot be a secret agent. To Kevin's point, you can't be a secret agent. You have got to let people know. And I think I was telling you yesterday, Lisa, like I'm always on, right? Like there's not a day off in my mind where I'm like, I'm not talking to somebody today. Like, no, if somebody gets close enough to me, like I'm obligated, okay, to like tell them I sell real estate. I prayed to get my license, number one, right? Because I told God I want to help people.
I know that's right.
Okay, that's right. So now I got my license and I ain't helping nobody. I just lied to them then. Okay, like think about that. You asked them that you asked for this blessing. You asked them, hey, please let me pass this test. Right? Please, I want to pass it. Please, please, please. Right? He said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you pass this test. Right? And then you get the license, and then you don't do nothing with it. Right? You don't do nothing with it because you're scared. You got fear built up in your heart, right? Well, what do we know about fear? If you read the Bible, it tells you very clearly, man, God does not dwell in the spirit of fear. So if you're dealing with fear, you're dealing with the devil. Okay? You're laying in the bed with the devil. So get him out your bed, get rid of the fear, right? All of us have been told no before since we were kids and we're still alive. Okay? So go for the no's. Behind those, there's going to be a ton of yeses. All right? Just want to share that rule.
Yep. Okay.
Working
So we're going to
remote
get
is
into.
not an excuse. I wanted to
Say
say
it again, Mike.
working remote is not an excuse. I work remote
Yes,
for my
ma'am.
full time and my part time, and that referral that I got for the buyer agent is my coworker in Asheville. Never met
Oh,
her.
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you know what, guys? I've been trying to be quiet. This is Melanie. And the Lord
Yeah,
has
you ain't got.
the Lord has said, I don't know why you're trying to do this and shut your mouth, but you need to tell your story because someone needs to hear your story.
Mm.
So and I'll tell you, speaking about one-on-ones, the reason why I'm on this call and I said shut up is because I haven't been working Sean's plan after my one-on-one. And so my mind said, girl, you better stay out of the way because Sean, I was feeling guilty, right? Because Sean gave me
That's
a
why you didn't
wonderful
answer my
plan.
phone call yesterday.
Oh, but I was on a call. I was on a call with a client. I'm working, just not working the plan. Okay. So I'll call you back.
Okay.
But so my guilt and my flesh was telling me to shut up, stay out of the way. However, I'm hearing everyone's story, and I don't know who may need to hear this. I heard a lot of people saying they're working full time or they're working, in addition to their real estate business. And so the Lord said I need to tell my story. I got my license while working full time in corporate America, had been through a divorce. I had 3 children, and I got my real estate license. Well, I took the class, failed the first time, common story, but I failed it by 1 point. Took it again and failed it by 2 points. So I had to retake the class. I was discouraged, right? I retook the class. I shut down my entire life around real estate school because I knew I deserved it. I passed the class. I sat for my state exam on Saturday. I passed. I met with Keller Williams University on Monday. I had my first buyer on Tuesday. I closed my first deal in
Wow.
32 days.
Hmm.
I
Wow.
was showing property before I had lockbox access because I hadn't went through the class with Canopy yet. So it can be done. I did all of that while working full time, while going in and out of court with my ex-husband after the divorce with 3 children. When I got my license, I said that I would do this quote unquote part-time for a year. And then I wanted to go full-time into real estate. What you put into the universe, you will get back. And you will get back with everything else lifing around you. So at 11 months, I was able to walk away from my full-time corporate job, and I've been full-time real estate ever since. I do not pay for leads. I never paid for leads. And if you can tell from the beginning of my conversation, my follow through is not the best. However, I have been eating off of my real estate business for the last 9 years, off of referrals. I do not market. I do not really do a lot of posting on social media. If you do good work, you do the Lord's work, and you are genuine, your business will come and you will eat and you will be able to survive. Life is still going to life, and it's going to take you down. It's going to have you in the bed. Believe me, I have a story. However, you still have to get back up and you still have to work your plan. Now, you can eat oodles and noodles, but you're eating. Be grateful for it. But you also could be eating steak. You just choose which one you want to eat.
Good story.
Thank you, Mel.
Melanie.
And I want to add to Mel's story real quick. And we talked about it just a moment ago about being a servant, right? Mel, in my opinion, is probably also blessed because she is a servant also. And I tell the story, and I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I tell the story about my very first real estate contract. Okay. And I didn't know what to do. I had nobody to call. My broker in charge didn't answer the phone. And I went on Facebook to try to find an agent at my brokerage to help me write my contract. And I recognized her face. I just jumped into her DMs, and she let me call her at 10 p.m. and walk me through setting up the contract. So two blessings, man. I love her, and I'm glad that she actually came over to work with us as well. So this is why she's also blessed, because she's also a servant and she lives by what she just said. So I just want to share that too, man. I'm gonna stop talking about you, Mel, but I love you.
That's okay. We're gonna let you off the hook, Mel. And I know you're working on a project. Since you're on, do you want to share any updates about your project?
Absolutely. So mm, I'm getting full because, for years I've just been this crazy girl that's running around talking about tiny homes. Um, and trying to at first I was trying to convince everybody that, listen, you need to be open-minded. You need to consider this for your business. You need to consider this for your clients. Like, it's serving a need. It's providing something. Like, we need affordable housing, quote unquote. We need options for people who, cannot afford to buy a big traditional home, but that they can start generating their wealth through real estate, but they just have to be able to get in the door. So about 3 years ago, my business changed. It went from, buyers and sellers and investors to opening up the opportunity. I'm now a land developer. And I'm currently working on a 10 home, tiny home community in Concord, on Corbin Avenue. And everything has gotten in our way. Like, we had the dream, but you can't really build a multi-million-dollar project on a dream, right? And a good concept. It's like, all right, so how are we going to pay for it? Girl, I can't PG this project at all. Not on my I can't personally guarantee this project. Like, what is holding us back? We've just been blessed, and we partnered with another nonprofit that's already in the space. So we were the recipients of the community construction revolving fund. And, 3 of these units are ours. And it's just from,
Wow.
thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, I am working on a tiny home project in Concord. And then with that relationship came another partnership, and that's going to be an 18 unit cottage community in Concord. And I've been in speaking engagements, like people are, I just left Greenville, South Carolina. Spartanburg County invited me down to keynote a workshop on barriers to housing affordability. So if you just stay focused and want to be called crazy, or people not believing in you or your idea, just stay true to what's in your heart.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On all your work.
Thank
You're
you. Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right, so we're gonna get into the training. Sandra, if you're there, can you pull up the slides for me, please? Thank you. Buyer's roadmap, clear steps, fewer headaches. The agent who controls the process creates the best experience. And this is inspired by the principles of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller and Ninja Selling by Larry Kendall. I'm gonna make this a little smaller so I can see the slides. Okay. Why a buyer's roadmap matters. Without a roadmap, chaos, stress, lost deals. We have to have a roadmap because we have to have clear directions on how the process works. With a roadmap, you have clarity, trust, repeat business. MR, which is the $1 Million Real Estate Agent, and the Ninja Insights. Build a predictable buyer pipeline. Systems are scalable. Confidence comes from clarity and communication. What's the biggest headache you've experienced with a buyer? And I know everyone can share that. What's the biggest headache? Sean, can you share one of yours? Because you do so many deals.
Tell me the question
The
again.
biggest
Uh-huh.
headache you've experienced with a buyer?
Just being indecisive.
Mhm.
Being indecisive. My fourth deal was with a coworker, and I think I showed her, don't ever do this. I showed her, I know 80 houses. But I was desperate to get a deal. So we went out looking. She's my only client. So we went out after work every single day for probably 3 months. And I was not strong enough as an agent to tell her to stop, right? We would walk into a home, she would go into the living room and say, this is not it. Wouldn't even look at the whole house. So I was showing her 5 or 6 houses like every day for months. And then she finally picked one. So that was probably my worst experience with a buyer, is just not having control of that process, not feeling confident enough of myself to be able to tell her, no, we're not looking at more houses. You've seen a ton, like pick one. So I would say that's probably my worst experience.
And was that because there was no direction? Was there consultation or was it just?
There was a consultation, but probably not the way I do a consultation now. Yeah, because I was still working full time, so I didn't really have a process. She was just referred to me from somebody else that just sold a house to work with us. And I got her signed and we went shopping probably the next day.
So that key thing was the process.
Is the process, yeah.
And the expectation and
Yes.
and
Zero expectations. Zero.
I don't want to say boundaries, but knowing enough about what she was looking for to be able to guide her to that, maybe. Is that where it kind of fell off? Just so they can understand.
It fell off at the very beginning because she came in dictating what was going to be what. And again, because I wanted that sale, because I wanted to be Rookie of the Year, Keller Williams. I just kind of let her just take control of the whole process. And yeah, that was a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
In hindsight, I should have been more assertive. Mhm.
Awesome. Anyone else here, or I'm pretty sure someone online want to share what their biggest headache was that they experienced with a buyer?
It's always the undecisiveness for me. And unlike Sean, my biggest headache was a higher paying client. They had $1 million budget and I didn't
Mm.
want to let them go. And when I came to the point where I was sick of them, I'm like, this is crazy. And I probably showed them just as many houses, Sean, 60 to 80 houses, all
Wow.
in out in everything that came on the market in Palisades, including ones that they went to go see on their own. And I didn't want to let
Wow.
them go because they were my $1 million, quote unquote, my $1 million clients. And one day I called Yachty because of the area. Sometimes I wasn't able to get over there. And her and Dana actually showed these people houses for me before. And I was like, I'm about to let them go. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. And she was like, as soon as you let them go, they're gonna buy.
Ew, someone
And
else.
yep, she said, as soon as you let them go, they're gonna buy. I did not let them go, but after I had that conversation with Yachty, they went under contract like within the next week or two.
Okay. And did you
Yeah. So
change anything that you were doing to make that happen?
there was I felt like I was doing everything right. I may not have been. I was um they were dragging me for well, he was dragging me. And the wife told me, she really did tell me, she was like, he's very undecisive. That, she told me that herself. And one night she called me and she said, I'm gonna put my foot down with him on this house, so you be ready. The wife
Okay.
told me that. She
Okay.
was like, yeah,
Mm.
she was like, you
Okay.
be ready, you get that contract written up. So it wasn't
Yeah.
me, it was him. Even when his wife said it, I was like, I knew it wasn't me, it was him. And even when
Yeah.
they decided on a house multiple times, we had put in an offer accepted, they retracted a contract,
Mm.
once or twice. Yeah, once or twice.
Wow.
So yeah, I would say the undecisiveness. And even when he made up his mind on a house, he wanted to go see it again 2 and 3 times. I'm like, Lord, have mercy. And
Yeah.
yeah, so the undecisiveness of buyer clients per se.
And then also, this is Melanie. I'll give my two
Yes.
cents. Um, a lot of times, especially with, you know, a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers, there's an underlying fear. There's something other than the house. So
Mm.
with my clients, I take a holistic approach, right? Um, I try to figure out their why, of course, right?
Mhm.
But their why doesn't matter if there's something else going on with them. And a lot of times it's fear of making a wrong decision. A lot of times it's something else. It could be generational. It could be, anything. But it's not, a lot of times it's not about the house. So when I'm talking to people, I'm reading them and I'm trying to figure out, okay, this person is scared to make a wrong decision. So I try to figure that out. Also, when I do my first initial consultation, I ask my potential buyers, okay, if money was no object, describe to me your perfect house.
Mhm.
And they, describe a lot of things, and sometimes they forget stuff. And I kind of egg them on, like, okay, well, what about a garage? Oh, I didn't think about a garage. So I let them paint the picture on exactly what they want, right? And then we
Mhm.
look at the budget. What is your budget? Okay, so your budget is 250,000. So out of everything, what is a must-have, and what is something that you could potentially do later? Oh, well, I
Mhm.
don't really need the hardwood floors now. I can do that later. Yes, you can. Your goal is to get through the door. And as we're looking at houses, I'm letting them know, okay, see, you had to have 1,800 square feet. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to show you what 1,700 square feet looks like.
Mhm.
And it's, oh, well, it doesn't make that much of a difference. Exactly. So you're kind of guiding them, making them think it's their decision to change. And really and truly, you've kind of molded them to open up their eyes and realize that, oh, yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah,
Make,
definitely.
yeah, make
Definitely
them
see
feel like
that.
they thought of it. And you've actually told them 25,000 times, but you just keep reiterating the same thing to where
Yeah.
eventually it clicks and they think that it's their bright idea. Oh, it sure is. Now let's go ahead and sign the offer.
Great, great, great. Anyone else?
I'll say something too.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with buyers, first time buyers, is just the pre-approval. Getting prepared to buy. Once I can get them pre-approved, I can kind of guide them, through the process. But people just dragging their feet, like the fear of not ever buying a home, the fear of not qualifying for a home. I feel like a lot of people have the fear that the credit's not good enough, the fear that they don't make enough money. That's the kind of issue I have. A lot of people want to buy, but they're hesitant, so they drag their feet on the front end. For me,
Yeah, yeah. And that definitely can be a problem because they're just not confident enough to even go to the next step. They're afraid of something. So yeah, I can see that. Next slide. So the 7-step buyer roadmap: lead, connection, consultation. That's the biggest thing. Setting those expectations and finding out, like Melanie had said, what's most important to them. Actually digging a little bit deeper. And also time frame is a big thing too, because if they have a long time frame, you're going to show a lot of property. Kind of understanding and having a clear roadmap to how you're going to get from point A to B. Pre-approval, we know that's definitely necessary. How much they can afford. Home search, offer negotiation, contract to close, post-closing, and relationships. Your job is to guide, not chase. Next slide. Your first step: connection. First impressions. This is where the relationship begins. Your goal is to connect, build trust, and establish rapport. Ask thoughtful questions, listen actively, and set the tone for a partnership. Asking those questions, power question. Here's an example. What made you start thinking about buying a home? Starting to understand their thought process and why they want this. That's a big question. Why do they want to buy a home? Find out that, because that's going to help guide you through that whole process, what the whys are. What does your ideal home feel like? And that was one of the questions Melanie asked. Start them to start thinking about what they picture the home to be. The goal is to move from lead to relationship. Next slide. Step 2, the buyer consultation. That is so important. That's where you get to discover the buyer's motivation and their priorities. Why they want to buy a home, what is their time frame. Let's talk about budget. You educate them on the market. You actually, ask them what would they like their payment to look like, and kind of show them what properties in that price point will be, what that payment price point looks like. Clarify your role. Tell them exactly how you're going to help them through the process. Um, your value and how you work, what you bring to the table, how you're going to help them through that whole process. This step builds confidence, alignment, and it creates a roadmap on how you're going to help them get from point A to Z. The core of control, stress-free process. Role play activities, agent versus buyer consultation. The more you do that, the more you're going to feel comfortable. And it's really getting to their goal, what they want in a home, and explaining what that process looks like. Because first time home buyers have no idea. So that's where you get to educate, you get to provide value, get to figure out where they want to be. Anyone want to add anything to that? 'Cause I like it to be interactive. Okay, okay,
Well, hold on. I got one thing for you.
yes,
Can you hear me?
yes,
Okay.
Kevin.
I, so someone mentioned earlier about, you know how sometimes buyer they would drag their feet about actually making a decision or whether they want to go ahead and shop for a house right now. I will say my first deal I got, they didn't want to close until they didn't want to look for a house until the summer, you know, because they were like, yeah, our daughter, you know, she's out of school and stuff like that. And I said, well, if you stay in the same school district, you can still look for a house. She'll still be going to the same school. You know, if we find a house within that same district, we'll just have to, you know, make sure that's the same district. And she was like, well, we'll have more time during the summer. I said, yeah, but you'll have more competition as well. So I
Mhm.
was just letting her know some of the benefits of doing it now versus later. And some of the benefits I provided for now, I think she really connected with. So that really got her to kind of move along and say, you know what, let's start looking at houses. The next thing you know, she found
Mhm.
one or two that she fell in like with, possibly in love with, and she pulled the trigger. She said, "Oh man," she said, "Do you think this would be available? What in another couple of weeks?" I said, "I can't say. I can't say. Somebody might like it like you." And she said, "Well, how much do you think they'll take?" I said, "Well, that's a great question. Let's see." And then that's when we put in the offer and we closed on that deal. So
Yes,
sometimes you got to kind of be the expert and kind of let them know some of the pros of doing it on the time frame that could be beneficial to them, opposed to waiting. Because if their kids are out of school, so is everybody else's kids. So the competition is going to be a little bit more typically. So I just went ahead and put that out there, and she decided on herself. So that's my only 2 cents I wanted to
absolutely.
add.
Yeah, no, the absolutely. And that's the value part, providing them something that they haven't thought about. In that situation, you were able to say, if we're looking in the same school district, the opportunity is still here now. It's less buyers out. Let's try to find something that you like. Just kind of clarifying that for them. Yeah, absolutely. Next slide, step 3 is a pre-approval. It's non-negotiable. If they're not buying cash, we need to know what their buying power is. Um, the $1 million real estate principle, protect your time. That's really important because we only have a limited amount of time. We need to be able to know exactly where that client is. A pre-approval is definitely necessary. And a lot of people don't put people in their car until, well, we probably don't put people in our cars now anyway, but you're not showing property until you know exactly how much they can afford and what that they're pre-approved. Set a realistic budget, strengthen their offering position when they're pre-approved, and protects your time. And it focuses on what they want as far as price point and what they can afford, right? No pre-approval, no showing, point blank. Next slide. The home search, guided and focused, with a clear criteria, knowing what they want and a pre-approval in place. This leads your buyer through a structured home buying process. It avoids overwhelm by curating listings that match their needs. Now, I will say, and real estate agents probably have experienced it, they give you this list, but then when they walk into something that they really love, a lot of those things may not be on the list. So it's a give and take with that part of it, but I do believe you need to set at least clear directions because they'll know what they like and what they don't. um Focus on the feeling, and lifestyle, not just the specs, because they're going to know what they like. They may say, I want a big backyard, and maybe you show them a house that doesn't have a big backyard, but they love the house and they can see other things that they like, and they might just put it off on that. So you got to kind of, it's a fine line there.
I'll say something about that too.
Yes.
Whenever I don't have a client that's pre-approved, right, the first thing I reiterate with them is I let them know that at the end of the day, you can only live in one home. So it's gonna be several homes that you're gonna like, but picture, whenever looking for homes, find the home that you and your family love. Remember, your first home or whatever is usually not your forever home. So it don't have to be everything. It don't have to be perfect. 3 to 5 years, you can gain equity. Use that equity to move into your forever home. Remember, when you purchase your first home, everything is not going to always align. It's going to be very, very rare that people can buy their first home and buy their forever home. So I let them know, set those expectations early that at the end of the day, you can only live in one home. So we don't need to looking at 40, 50 homes is pointless because you can't live in those homes. We're gonna find a home that fits your bill, fits what your must-haves, and then we'll go from there. So I kind of set those expectations on the front end. So I'm not wasting my time looking for a bunch of different homes.
Exactly. So that was the key, setting that expectation and knowing what they want. It might be one or two key things that they have. They might not have all the things, but what are 2 or 3 key things that you can live with if you're not able to get all the other things? Having that conversation at one-on-one and planting the seed, like he said, this is your first home. You may not get everything that you want, but you'll move up. You'll be able to build that equity and buy that next dream home, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
And to piggyback off of that, when you are going through, when you're initially asking them, what are their wants, what are their must-haves, we know that we're building our search criteria in MLS, right? So that we can set up their automatic property list. When they go, before you set that up and you ask them what they want, and you're looking at the budget, you're already knowing, nah, this ain't gonna work. I'm not a miracle worker, right? If they say that I need at least 2,000 square feet, and you know that it's not going to work, right? Let them know that, hey, I really do not want to bog down your criteria too much because I want to give you options. I want to keep your options open. And how I explain it is this. Now, everything that we put into here is going to narrow down your results. So I really do not want you to be discouraged if you only get 7 results, right? So why not? Let's just keep our options open and just say, okay, we want everything 1,500 square feet or high or more. Or, I know that you want 3 bathrooms, but that may mean 2 full bathrooms and a half bath. So let's just not bog down the criteria, because the more criteria that you have, the less options that you have. And let's keep your options open. I do not want you to miss out on your dream home because we've, had these strict guidelines in the criteria. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're kind of guiding them while not discouraging them. And then when you're going out and looking at the properties, feel comfortable enough, because it's a relationship, right? Feel comfortable enough to let them know. Now, see, remember you said you had to have this. Now, I want to point out that this doesn't have that and you like it. See what happens when you have your options open and you're open-minded? They're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you're selling them. You're making
Yeah, and
them kind of
you're
see the
guiding.
vision. Yeah, you're guiding them
Yeah.
and you're making them see the vision. Like, oh, yeah, you're right. But the whole time you knew you were right, but you're making them believe that they had a big discovery.
Yeah. Yeah, because that just goes back to, they said they want A, B, and C, but then when they walk into that home that you were
Mm-hmm.
able to show them, all A, B, and C went out the window because they
Right.
felt,
Right.
what the
Mm-hmm.
home felt to them is they feel themselves, they can see themselves living in that home. So yeah, that's absolutely right.
Absolutely.
Limiting the criteria. It may just be 1 or 2 key things, but having that conversation with them to be open-minded. Let's find you that home.
And also to piggyback on that, also ask them how to rate the home. So once we're done searching for the home, I need to know how you feel about that home. The home's a 9 or 10. I'm gonna double back and throw that back in their face later when we want to look at a minute. Like, listen, this home's a 9 or 10. This home that you like is not gonna be in the market forever. But this is what we need to focus on. So it keeps their mind focused from scattering and being indecisive. If they say the home is a 4 or 5 or 6, I'm not even looking at the home no more. It's something I throw in the trash. It's something that we're not gonna look at. But they give me a 9 or 10 with that home, I'm gonna remind them, you rated this home a 9. You rated this home a 10. So this home is clearly something you can see yourself living in. So let's focus on getting a good deal for this particular home.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's key, the feedback. not just walking in the house and ask them what was, what did they like about the house? What did they like about
I do that same thing.
conversation? Yeah.
And what I do though, if they tell me or like an 8 or 9 or whatever, I do want to know what gets into it.
What they make it a team,
because that way then if it's something, well, it needs a fence or I would like it paint or whatever, right? I can call Terrell over there and say, hey, listen, I need a quote for X, Y, and Z. He called last night and got my flooring guy. Right. So yeah, like if we're that close,
Yeah.
then yeah, we should be putting an offer on it.
Yeah. Key. That was a key.
I will say, during my consultation, I tell them I need your top 3 requirements for a home.
Mm-hmm.
Just 3. And then I give them 7 more to add. And I'm like, if you got a good relationship with God, you might get all 10. Like I didn't know that. That's on your relationship. Ain't no me.
Right.
That's on your relationship.
That part.
But I do those 3. And when we go into homes, I remind them that it meets these 3.
Mhm.
And then I ask them, are we putting in an offer? Why are we not putting in an offer? A lot of times my clients put in an offer on their first house and we have 5 houses scheduled and we never go to them.
That's right.
Let's go see. But I tell them, I said, while we out looking for this, somebody else can have this house. So if this is your house, you walked in and you say, this is my house, we writing an offer.
Yeah.
I don't have time to show a whole bunch of houses, y'all. I can't drive.
You got it too.
I can't drive.
That was good.
Seriously, I'd be like, we writing an offer today? Yeah. Let's go.
And you spent all that time on the back end looking through MLS to make sure it had those 3 things. So now you're prepared and you have all your information and now you can confidently have that conversation. Right, oh.
Yeah.
And you got all your stuff together.
And they say, no, we're not writing an offer. This is not working. Why? I bring that list back out.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you told me. And I have taken people out and then said, okay, we're going back to my office because we need to reconvene. Yeah, I stopped showing.
Yeah, because you're not doing it.
Because I ain't working for free. And they get frustrated because I'm showing them something that they don't even want to see.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not a win-win situation. So it's okay, let's go lunch, let's do something. We're going back to the office and reconvene and figure out and let me understand.
Yeah.
Because things do change. And I tell them in consultation, I said, when we start this process, you may think one thing. By the time we get to the middle, the end, it may be something totally different. Guess what? You have to communicate that to me so I can make sure that I'm meeting your needs. And if you never communicate that, you're never going to meet your goal.
Yeah, no, and that's key because you're looking at those homes, you're searching, you're doing all that work, all that time to make sure that this is a successful showing based on what you shared with me that you wanted. So absolutely going back, sitting down, figuring that out. Now, what does it look like? What are you feeling?
I love what changed, right?
Yeah.
What changed because you told me that these are the things you want. And this is why you got to do the consultation.
Yeah.
Right? You can't skip that part. Like you got to get the bullets to be able to fire back at them when they want to go see 10 homes and you already showed them 2. Then check the 3 things that say were most important to them.
Yeah.
Right? And in fact, we got 5 in your team. Right? So you really should be putting it off on you right now. So like, yeah, it's within your budget. So like, so what changed from the time we had the first conversation to today?
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes things do change.
Yeah.
Other times they're just being indecisive.
Yep.
Well, maybe it's gonna be another better house. No. To his point, that other better house is the one you're in right now, and somebody else gonna buy this house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We all know that when we say we want something, all of a sudden somebody else wants it. Right? I mean, it happens though. And the same thing, and I've seen it happen to my clients too. Like they finally pick a house. Like, oh man, I like it.
And it's been on the market for
45 days. No, ain't nothing. And I called the agent. Oh, we just got off. What the hell? What you mean? It's an offer, man. Like what? I've been on the market for 100 days.
Yeah.
So
Very
you got
good.
decided right now.
Yep.
That's good. Too.
And I will say, on the way going to showings, I'll call the agent. Hey, I'm about to go show this house. I'm trying to get my clients under contract. What you need that contract to look like? So we can go to the closing table. Like I start that conversation. What's important, what's going on? Because guess what? When we in that house, I'm already working on the contract. I told y'all.
And call the agent while you're there showing it. while you're there showing the property, if they really like it, call the agent right there in front of them.
Right there.
Especially
Yeah.
back
That
when
was
we were
what-
having multiple offers, like you call them right
Forget about
then and say, hey, put it on speaker. Let them hear, hey, my clients, I'm showing your property. My clients are interested. Just wanted to call. Do you have anything that's possibly not listed in MLS that your clients would like a potential buyer to know? So that's letting them know they're looking for due diligence. They're looking for a quick close. Okay, so perfect. So let me ask, do you currently have any other offers? Yeah, we've had several showings. 2 people were talking about putting in an offer, but we don't have anything in writing yet. Okay, that creates the sense of urgency for your client.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
Put them on
I
speaker.
will also go back. What made me so successful? My process, initial consultation, then you go to the lender. Lender give you your pre-approval. You have to come back to me. We sit down and go through the contract. They have not seen a house yet. We sit down and go through the contract. So I make sure they understand the terms. Because when they get out there and find their house, they ain't gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna know.
They're
So
always
we
silent.
go through that contract before we go look at a house.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I tell them, okay, when we find your home, these are the elements I need from you. How much you want to pay? How much due diligence? How long you want the due diligence? Is there anything in this house that you want to convey? And how fast do you want to close? That's all I need from you.
You go
We need those 5 things. So when we looking at a house, I'm asking them, so when you want to close? What's in this house you want?
So you go over the offer the purchase contract.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. When they're putting in the offer, should never be the first time they see the offer to purchase contract.
And that professional
He
service.
said those 5 all the time.
Okay. How much you want to pay? How long is your due diligence? How much you want to pay in due diligence?
Oh, man, my goodness.
What's in the house that you want to convey? And how quick you want to close? And we all should know how quick we can close because we should all have been speaking with the lender to figure out how soon can you process.
And then after you're talking with them and you kind of learn, their needs and their wants, one of those questions after you first ask, one of the questions can be eliminated if you know that they do not need any personal property. So then those questions go down the floor. And then the more conversation you talk, you already know, and you don't really need to ask them all the questions because you already know. So it's just that.
If they don't need
Yep.
personal property, I still ask for it. You
Yep.
can sell it. That's tax-free
Yeah.
money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad.
And what that does is it starts them to thinking about what they want and how this process goes. We give the sample documents, professional service disclosure, that too should be discussed. Talking about what that inspection means, just preparing them for the whole process. Let's go to step 5. Offer negotiation. When your buyer finds the right home, help them craft a strategic offer. Your role is to be advisor, not an order taker. Provide data, explain terms, and help them make a confident decision. You want to make sure you have your comps. You want to go over that with them. You want to you just want to help that process be as smooth as possible. I'm sorry.
Leverage your lender too during this process.
Terry suggested going over that offer to purchase with them. Going over definitely the professional service disclosure because you want to know, you want to talk about how much money they're going to need, home inspector, different things. You want to prepare them as much as possible through this process because giving them that upfront knowledge just makes the whole transaction go a lot smoother. My job is to help you win, not just submit offers, and having that conversation with them is going to set that up, to make it a smooth transition to the offer and going through that whole process. Anybody else want to add anything? We're having a real good conversation with this training. Online,
So Terry, I've got 4 of the 5, but I'm missing one. So I have how much you want to pay, how soon do you want to close? Is there anything you want to convey in the home? And how much you want to pay on your due diligence?
And how long you want the due diligence period?
There you go.
And that's all off the contract.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
you're filling in on the contract.
It's
and you can just
literally
go.
things you fill in.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the things you fill in. So you, if you know
And
that
I like the
contract,
fact that you go over all the paperwork first. I like that. And I have done it where my very first person that I had, right, my very first sale, I showed her many homes. And but I talked her through all the paperwork. I did do that. So because I prayed that if God let me pass my test, that I would give knowledge, not just be out there for the money. Because if you're true to your heart and you're true to your people and you're sincere in your service, money's gonna come.
yeah.
We just gotta be right to people. So I did that. And I did like Mr. Sean. I showed her many homes, but she was my only person. And we worked together, and see the difference between me and you. I love to drive.
Yeah.
And I love to look at houses.
And
So
you like
I
to
do
talk to
mine.
people.
And I'm a
She
candidate.
does.
But you
But I
could have
appreciate
5
what
other
she did.
clients. Why you showing her all those properties?
I didn't have anybody else.
But you could have got some more, is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Change that mindset.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. Your time is.
Feel better
But it's
now.
good. Well, my platform is C, serve, educate, and empower.
Yes. There you go.
Is there any more slides? Next slide. Please.
Like her.
Just to jump in, you have to, just to jump in really,
She's straight to the point.
just to jump in just a little bit.
Mhm.
Before you even get any clients, or if you only have one client, you have to move and act as though you are booked and busy. You have to act as though you have so many clients, you're struggling to service them because you're getting yourself in the mindset of when that comes. So if you, especially with buyers, if you up jump the boogie every single time they call, they learn to expect that. If they call you at 1 o'clock and say, hey, I want to go look at this house at 2 o'clock, you have to set the tone that they're not going to always be able to get that service from you when you have 10 properties under contract. So
Yes.
never be afraid to set the tone with your clients because you got to remember, yeah, we may be struggling as a real estate agent right now, but the world doesn't have to know that, right? Your clients do not have to know that. They can't up jump the boogie with the doctors or the lawyers or, a therapist, right?
Yeah, schedule an appointment.
Right.
Absolutely.
And do not be afraid to tell a little white lie because, you could say, I'm not available, I'm kind of booked up, my schedule is packed until 5 o'clock. Are you available then? Because you could be doing something else that's, income producing in that time frame.
It's not a lie.
I was just gonna say that. It's not a lie. It's how you have your schedule and your schedule a lot of time. You got to schedule that out. So it's not
There
a
you go.
lie. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure you're not just gonna jump up. Yeah, you find an opening in your schedule based on what you got going on.
There you go.
You want to help them, but it's got to be within your schedule, and you're just not gonna, they call you up, we walking out the door. No,
Right.
Mhm.
schedule, book a time, just like professionals do. We are professionals. Got to get
There
on
you
our
go.
schedule.
Well, I treat my clients like therapists treat you. We have to book out in advance, right? So during my consultation, I ask, is there a certain time of the day that works best for you?
Right.
And then I literally, once they have that pre-approval, they go on my calendar as placeholders for that client.
Yeah.
And that client knows that every time we're gonna go look at a
It's
property,
gonna be that same.
it's gonna be that same time.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless the property is not available or something.
Right.
But it's gonna be that same time.
Yeah.
And that helps me manage my calendar
Exactly.
instead of them managing my calendar.
Right.
I'm a control freak.
Yeah.
That's good though. That's good.
Sandra, Is there another slide? Okay, number 6, contract to close. Once you're under contract, guide the buyer through the milestones: inspection, appraisal, financing, title, and closing logistics. This is where communication, organization, and anticipation prevents stress and surprises. You're guiding them through that whole process. What does the inspection look like? Appraisal time, financing, title, and closing. Just guiding them through and explaining that to them, because we're providing value and we're walking them through that process.
I think also too, let them know kind of about the fees up front, let them know during my consultation, how much, about the range the inspection gonna cost, about the range the appraisal gonna cost, and that they're responsible for it. You don't want to get them under contract and they don't know they gotta pay $1,500 extra dollars, take care of those two things. So I definitely let them know on the front end, to be prepared. Once we get you under contract, of course, it's gonna be your inspection first, it's gonna be around this range based off your own. And then your appraisal gonna be around this range. So I kind of prepared for that early.
That's a professional service disclosure, just going down the list so that they know and have an idea of where, the different things they may want, different professionals they may want to hire in connection with purchasing that home, and what the costs are. Definitely that's very important. And for me, like when we go into contract, I'm doing that professional service disclosure right then. And then it can change. It can be, it can, like, if they choose something as far as maybe a home inspection, or maybe they didn't want one, but towards the end, you're communicating how important that is. And it may change, and then you just update, that professional service disclosure. But I don't wait till the end. They got to know that, and we got to also fill that out. Next slide. Number 7, post-close relationships. I know Terry had said one time you get the review after your consultation, right?
Yeah, I get reviews every time I talk to you.
And that's a key thing.
Not every time I talk to you. And you tell me really get
Ask for a review,
but
because I have different platforms, right? Or I ask for a referral.
wow, you definitely.
Do you know someone that could benefit from having a conversation with me? It's not even if they're looking to buy or sell. Do you know anyone that could benefit from having a conversation with me?
And that's in the beginning,
Well,
not so much at the end.
that's all the time.
That's
That's every conversation. Yeah, anytime you talk to them, because and it's every time, because I talk to you today, you may not know anybody. I'll talk to you tomorrow, you might have met somebody, right? So every time I talk to you, I gotta ask that question. I'm not doing my job. Like, I have to ask the question.
And that's repeatable business, right? Referrals, repeat business, lifelong client relationships. You want to build that, but asking for those referrals or asking for anyone that can benefit from our services every time you speak to that, that's going to trigger something, And because you kind of had that conversation many times, when they do meet someone, yeah, I have a great real estate agent. Let me share your contact information here.
So let me say, my business partner's place just developed something for me, and we sent out just checking in cards to clients. Sent one out probably last month. I got a card back from one of my clients that I sold 3 years ago. Completely forgot about them. And they pretty much was like, "Thank you, Terry. We love our house." But they sent me a card back. So I'm like, okay, y'all still know me.
Yeah.
But
That's awesome.
I had not done my job. I had not followed up with them since they closed. Like, I got some other little touch points that I sent little gifts out or whatever, but I have not spoken to those people. So guess what? That's on my list to call them. To say thank you for your card. Yeah, absolutely. Who do you know?
What's happening to me? And that's what you have to do. Provide a service. And they remembered you 3 years later. They saw that card and they decided to take time out of their day to send you a postcard.
So I say that if you have past clients or even people that you have not spoken to in a while, just drop them a little card there, just checking in. Like, it was very simple, nothing long, just checking in, want to see how you were doing. That was it.
And a phone call, that's just like the handwritten notes. We know that. We've learned that, right? Postcard. Phone calls. Quick text message, just checking in with those people. It doesn't have to be long. Just show
Mhm.
and putting your name, and hopefully they remember your face in front of them again.
A way to a phone call, so I kind of make that conversational. I call somebody and be like, just checking on, see how you doing, see how everything's going. Everything's going with your life right now. They'll tell me, then their response is going to be, what's going on with your life? And I've been in these real estate streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I make it conversational where I'm not just saying, like, I'm calling to check on you to see if you want to buy a home. I'm going to check to see how your life's been going. And once you say that back to me, I'm in real estate full time now. I'm in real estate every single day, working with these clients, trying to help them get these new deals, making it conversational, but also planting that seed at the same time.
Exactly. Because people like to reciprocate. When you ask someone something, they're gonna probably ask you the same question back. So definitely. And being prepared to have that conversation is key too. Do we have another slide? I think that was it. Oh, okay. Buyer pipeline equals business. A buyer's business is not random. It's a pipeline you manage daily, your pipeline. You want to definitely get new leads, contact buyers, having those 10 conversations, right? A day. Buyer consultation, pre-approved clients, active home search, under contract, and closed transactions. This is the buyer's pipeline. This is your roadmap to getting business. And the conversations we've had is helping you set that up, right? What gets tracked gets controlled, and what gets controlled gets improved. Which stage in your pipeline is leaking the most buyers? What don't you have set up? This kind of starts you to think about what your consultation looks like and what your buyer pipeline, and how are you getting those leads? Those conversations and tracking them. How many people have you spoke to? What were the results? When are you going to follow up again with them? Anybody want to add anything to that?
Just don't get caught up on all the shiny stuff. But focus on maybe one or two things in attracting clients. Don't try to spread yourself doing 10,000. Find something that you're really good at and just focus on it. Give it a good 90 days.
Give me an example, please.
So however you lead gen, some people, I do events. That's my lead gen. Some people do calls. Some people want to buy leads. Some people, it just depends. Social media, whatever. Like Sean does YouTube. That's his lead gen. But all I'm saying is don't try to do 10 of those at the same time. Mm-hmm. Focus, find two, and spend time on it. Give it time. 90 days, track it, make sure, see what your return is. And sometimes you don't need a pivot to a new thing. Maybe you just need a pivot in the process that you're doing it.
Terry just said a mouthful right there too. Give it time, right? My YouTube channel, I started doing COVID. I posted for a whole year on YouTube without a single phone call. Okay, but I just kept doing it because people were watching the videos, right? And it wasn't until September of, I think, 2022, I got my first phone call from YouTube. I don't know what happened with the algorithm, but I got my first phone call. And from there, it just took off. Like, it was just back to back to back phone calls from it. But there was a whole year, though, like, of just constantly posting on YouTube with no return. None. So that's a good point. Just stick to them.
What did you talk about on YouTube?
Back then it was just home tours. Yeah, back then it was just doing home tours. And it wasn't until I actually started watching Sarah's channel, when we started Lifestyle. I just watched one of his videos. I was like, oh man, okay. I saw a difference in my clientele and his clientele, is what happened. Before I knew him, I ran into him at a community one morning. I knew of him, but I ran into him at a Taylor Morrison community in Steel Creek. And I was dressed up. My clients were dressed nice. Sir's clients were dressed nice, right? But I could tell his clients were different than my clients, right? It just was, right? I could tell there was clearly a difference. But he had on Crocs and some shorts, and I was like, man, like, how does he get business like that? Like, I'm confused. I started watching his channel, and I was like, oh, man, it's educational, right? He's not only doing house tours, but he's also like talking about the market, giving tips and things like that. So I pivoted eventually to start doing both, where I'm doing front facing content and doing house tours as well. So yes, but I think that's people are afraid to get on camera like that and just talk about the market because right. Yeah, and listen, it's not easy, but it's not hard either, right? Once you have a process, it takes you being a student is what it takes, right? It's impossible to remember everything. So number one, being a student about what you're doing, and number two, learning how to either read a teleprompter, right, or using one of those devices that will fix your eyes so you can read your screen. That's what I use, Descript. So that also changed my business significantly when I started doing front facing content. My average price point before that was probably 350s. When I started doing front facing content, it got 6, 7, 8.
Front facing content, meaning you're on video.
I'm sitting here talking about the market. Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
me talking about the market.
Instead of behind the camera.
Right. My clients from yesterday, the one I showed you the video this morning. So if I play the video, they talked about why they called. And they called me because they said I was one of the few agents on there. Like everybody's showing house tours. I was actually talking about the Charlotte market. So like what I did with my channel is I actually shot every suburb around Charlotte. And I started with Concord, then I went to Rock Hill, then I went to Mount Holly. So every city around Charlotte is what I shot, right? I didn't focus on Charlotte. Charlotte was saturated.
Right.
So I did all the suburbs around Charlotte. And people that wanted to live in those kind of areas that also wanted a good price point, my phone just started blowing up with those kind of people. So it's a 4 video series about that area. So about Concord, things to do in Concord, right? The job market, then what you could buy at this price on existing homes, and what you could buy at this price, new construction, right? And veterans benefits. That's my whole little blueprint right there for YouTube. And I go to Google Trends. I use Google Trends to tell me what people are searching for. And Google Trends will tell you they're searching for these neighborhoods, they're asking these questions, right? And it'll tell you every single week. So every Sunday, I go to Google Trends and I say, hey, what questions are people asking about the Charlotte Metro? And it'll tell you, right, boom, this is what they're searching, right? Google has all of those analytics and information. We're just not using it.
So,
Mhm.
so I could go to Google Trend
Mhm.
and I could say what's happening in real estate in Concord.
Well, you want to be specific, like you want to say, hey, what questions? Okay, two things.
Okay,
What communities are people
there you
searching
go.
for?
What communities?
Yeah, are people searching for in X location, right? And then what questions are people asking about the real estate market around the greater Charlotte metro? And it'll tell you exactly what they're asking. And then from there, you basically tailor your content around those questions.
Okay, I love lifestyle.
Let's go.
Okay.
Go, let's get
Next
it.
slide, please. Lot of information. Leveraging your buyer system. You don't scale alone, you leverage. Top agents don't do everything themselves. They build a system that support. Leverage includes your CRM, which is a must-have for follow-ups and putting new contacts in. Transaction coordinator for paperwork, showing support or buyer agent, depending on where you are as far as a team, and pre-built templates and scripts. You have to know what you're going to say. You have to practice that. And your templates, your buyer package, what you're going to put in it, what you're going to have the conversation with your potential buyer. Mindset shift. I have to do everything. I build systems so I can grow, knowing exactly what systems you're going to use. What is one task you should stop doing personally this month? And that's a challenge to everyone. What are you going to put in place to help you guide you? What structure you're going to have for your buyer consultation? What you're going to do? We had some key things, as far as going over the contract with them and asking those questions and providing value as far as due diligence fee, home inspection, what do you expect as far as a closing date? and then having that conversation if they're not pre-approved. But the key thing, which is what I do too, someone calls you up and asks you, I'm interested in the property, set that appointment. Don't have that conversation on the phone. Ask them when they're available. It can be on Zoom or it can be in the office, set that up. Not, if they're not pre-approved, you gotta have a buyer agency agreement. Explain your process. Now you're getting them to the lender, and it doesn't matter if they're not approved or not. Then you talk about what that solution is to get them from not being qualified to qualified. Because you have someone that's interested in buying a home, and then you can guide where they're,
And you can
where they
tell
are.
that urgency
Mhm.
in them. when they're-
Exactly.
If they're just wasting your time and they just want to
But
see
set
the
that
house.
buyer,
Or if
buyer,
they're really anxious and really like, okay, I really want to see the house and I really want to buy a home.
having
You
that
know, and
appointment.
having that conversation.
Because now you're setting yourself
Yeah,
and your clients up for success. Because you
Right.
went over everything. You're not just running out to show the
Right.
property,
right.
and we have to get that buyer agency agreement signed before we can show
Exactly.
anything. So
Right.
now it's just making you do what you need to do like a professional.
Yes.
You
exactly.
don't go to a lawyer's office and not sit down and have a consultation. A dentist's office, you have a consultation, they're telling you what the expectations are. So we have to do the same thing and run the business that way as well.
Very good.
Anybody want to share anything? Anybody online? Okay, next slide. Processes create confidence. Clarity builds trust. Buyers don't fear homes, they fear confusion and mistakes and uncertainty and not being clear. They don't know the process, so we have to guide them through that. When your process is clear, buyers feel safe, decisions become faster. That's what that process, because now you've laid it out for them. Stress is reduced, trust is increased naturally. And here goes the script. You don't have to figure this out alone. I'll guide you step by step. And having that step by step in place, knowing exactly how you're going to guide them through, providing them information and what that expectations are throughout the whole process. Next slide. Objections, buyer's uncertainty, curiosity over pressure. Objections aren't rejections, they just need more clarity. They're just unspoken questions. Powerful response framework. Pause and listen. You want to understand what your client is saying when they have an objection. Clarify the question. And sometimes you have to ask them, tell me more about that. Acknowledge their concerns and guide them through that. One person had said, and I think it was Kevin, about his client, and they were saying, we don't want to look now, we want to look in the springtime. That was where he listened to what their objection was, and he got clarification, right? And then he acknowledged their concern and then gave them a solution. And at the end of the day, they went out and they found something, right? So that's what value we provide, helping them overcome those objections by a clear solution. And a script here, that makes sense. Let's walk through it together so you feel confident. The goal is to understand, not convince. You provide information. Next slide. April's action plan, buyer mastery. April's focus is process, control, and confidence. Your weekly execution plan. Master your buyer agency consultation. Put some of those key things in place. Explaining what the process is, finding out where they are, finding out, when do they want to be in their home? What are the key things that they want in their home? And maybe focus on one or two things, or even three. But I would say they're probably not going to get everything, but have what's most important to them. Enforce pre-approval before showing. We all know that. Track every buyer in your CRM daily. Improve follow-up with consistency and role play objections weekly. And you can, I mean, we have lifestyle, we have so many agents. You know, set up a time with an agent and role play so that you feel more confident providing the information to a client. Because the more you say it, it's gonna just be embedded in your head, you know? Challenge, what habits will you commit to improving this month? Discipline creates consistency, and consistency creates clothing. Know your stuff. You know your market. That's key too. That's key. Know those documents. Don't let the first time you're pulling it out is when you have a client. Know what they say so you can just summarize. Hit the key points with your clients and go over that stuff. Anybody want to add anything? No,
Just say no the contract. It's so many times I get agents call me and I say, have you read the contract? Like, I need y'all to read contracts. Don't call me asking me the guidance if you ain't read the contract. I come from a contract background, so that really pisses me off when people don't read.
In the buyer agency agreement and the contract, all the answers are there. If you just read through them. And if you don't understand anything,
Let us know.
Exactly. Let us know.
But you should be able to take those documents and summarize them to your client.
Terry, what's your last name?
Yeah. Well, you should be able to summarize to your clients and let them know. This is what this paragraph said. And literally, I go paragraph by paragraph. I don't skip anything. I go, because North Carolina is a unique state when it comes to, and so I really make sure they understand. We're an as is state, baby.
Have your influence?
Yeah, we are.
Like, sellers don't have to do anything. This is negotiated.
Yep.
And they have your money. So that's non-refundable. Like, you have to have those conversations.
Yeah, and you got to know what you're speaking about, and it's right there in the contract.
Like,
So
literally, I have a client, I'm about to put their house on the market. They live all the way in Spencer, y'all. I don't even like driving. And
Spencer.
North Carolina.
Salisbury,
Yeah,
right above Salisbury, is where we're in county. Yeah, but they called me because they saw a house that they love, and they say, Terry, we want to go look at this house. Well, your house is not even on the market, and the lender has already told me that
you got to sell your house.
You got to sell the house in order to buy the next one, and we got to net a certain amount.
Right.
So we can't even lowball. Yeah. We got to be on the top. So I said, okay. I said, so we're going to go to this house and you're going to write an offer. You do know that you have to give them a due diligence that's not refundable. And because your home is not on the market yet, they're probably going to ask for a higher due diligence. Right. Are you okay with going to the market and not getting your home sold and giving someone some money?
That you ain't getting back.
Right. They called me yesterday morning and said, we don't think we're going to go ready yet. We're going to wait until our house go on the market and go under contract. Sounds good to me. Thank you. I don't have to go to Salisbury.
You have to make the decision that you're not showing. You provided information.
I just educated them. This is how it works. And let them. I said, Pastor, just have a conversation with your own wife and let me know how you all would like to move forward. I already knew the wife was gonna say no. That's why I said, just have a conversation with your wife. Let me know how you guys like to move forward.
Yep, absolutely.
That's key in the conversation to understand that between the two, who's the decision maker. That's very, very key because you can be playing to the one that's not gonna make the decisions and it's not gonna help you throughout the process.
Right.
Of course, you cater to the clients and take care of everybody, but you know who's gonna have the final say. So that
you through that process, who that key person is. Absolutely. So
one question.
Yes.
So for clients that have bought homes before in North Carolina and they buy a new home, don't they know a lot of this?
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
I'm like, when I knew what to like. After I had bought my first home, I already knew the game. I was like, okay, I've gone through this. I already know.
First of all, they probably bought from a builder.
Oh, because it's North Carolina, right? New York is different because
they probably bought from a builder. So they don't know the process. So you can't assume that. Then not only that, unfortunately, our colleagues are not us.
I was just gonna say that.
So you don't know what the colleague told them. You don't know what they went over and discussed. They just blindly signed the document and knew they was in the house.
Counsel them or explain it.
I done had people tell me they ain't never paid due diligence, and you own a house in North Carolina in the last what? How long due diligence been fresh?
A while.
Well, I will tell you, when I came here to North Carolina, none of my customers paid due diligence.
Really?
What would be zero? I put zero on there. But what I was gonna say in regards to New York is totally different.
Yes,
Contract. It's totally different, and I think every state is kind of different.
Yeah, but
So-
don't assume people know.
Yeah, don't.
So that's a good point.
Provide
They
your
bought a house with a
presentation.
builder, and now they're buying something else.
Or even just whatever.
It's different.
Yeah, bad agents, yeah.
It didn't go over that.
Everybody they're not like me.
They're
They're
not
not
like you.
great like
That's
me.
why they're dealing with you now.
And have your process.
But that
What you gonna do?
Because they see your value.
That's
What
right.
they
I
compare
educated
it.
them on, you know.
And they're like, oh, I can hide this.
Have to have a due diligence.
This first time buying.
Next slide. I think that might be the last one. The buyer's advantage, your competitive edge is not leads, it's the process. And that's what we've been talking through this whole this whole training. The process is key, and you want to explain that process in as much detail as possible, because that's going to help you get to the end goal without stress, without having to explain things over again, but just take it slow, because you also have to remember, this is the first time they're hearing this. And as a professional, we've run over it over and over and over again. So you want to clarify. Do you have any questions? When you're going through that, the buyer presentation and the contracts, make sure that it's clear for them. Clear steps reduce stress. Strong systems create freedom, and it helps you because you know exactly what you're going to do. You're not thinking, oh, what am I going to do today? You're doing a buyer's consultation, it's always the same. You have your key parts to your presentation. Control process builds confidence. Confident agents close more deals. When you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. And it just helps you and it makes it easier. Buyers don't just need homes, they need leadership through the process. Clear steps, fewer headaches equal more closings. And it just helps you because now you know, and you've already explained that to them. So you don't want to stress, you want to know your stuff.
Yeah.
And go through that process.
And if you don't know, call and ask somebody, and don't be afraid to tell your client, I'm sorry, I don't know this, but you know what? You hired lifestyle. So let me reach out to my colleagues that do.
Yes.
Because I don't know if y'all know this. They hired lifestyle, they didn't hire you. That agreement says lifestyle.
Yeah, that's right.
And I tell my clients that you have hired lifestyle, and I'm just so happy to be working on their behalf with you. But you are in contract with
Right,
lifestyle.
that's right.
You when you sell a house too, you sell this as.
Yeah, listen,
Burn.
it is the company, it's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people don't pay attention.
No, they don't.
And I also use that when people want to ask me about my commission. Because I say, this go to lifestyle, that don't go to me.
Broker's charge this year.
Yeah.
This go to lifestyle, that don't come to me. I get a small percentage.
Percentage of that.
So if you trying to decrease, that's decreasing my percentage.
We haven't heard from anyone in Zoom. Anybody else want
Great
to?
job, everybody.
Yeah, no, it's good training.
Great job.
Great information. Anyone else I want to leave the floor open to any questions or any comments before we close.
Yeah.
That's like 4 credits.
No, thank you so much. This was awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for everyone that participated and had questions. And you know what? Hopefully everybody has a great day.
Yes.
We're gonna end the meeting.
The sun is out.
Yes. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Good job, Denise.
Bye.
Good job, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for participating, everybody. Good job.
Thank you. Great information.
Yeah.